Following closed session, I reconvene the April 8th, 2021 meeting of the City Council, successor agency to the Palm Desert Redevelopment Agency and Housing Authority. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Harnick.
Here.
Councilman Jonathan.
Present.
Councilmember Nistandi.
Here.
Councilmember Quintanilla.
Present.
Mayor Kelly.
Here.
All present.
And Councilmember Nistande, it is your privilege and honor to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Please join me, or please honor me as we say the Pledge of Allegiance to our country and our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Councilmember Quintanilla will offer our words of inspiration this evening.
My words of inspiration are fairly simple. I know that we've all grown tired of hearing the same reminders, but it's just telling everybody there's hope ahead. Let's have hope and center ourselves in knowing that we've made sacrifices and our sacrifices are worth it. We have taken our time away from loved ones. We've taken our time away from our favorite activities. And as we start to see the numbers dropping, I recently saw that Eisenhower sent an email that said it was a year ago this week that they had their first case. And when we look at where we are in the present, there are 2 patients in the COVID unit and 0 in the ICU. And that's thanks to everybody that's listening and those that aren't listening that have taken their due diligence and making sure that they kept our numbers down by getting tested and showing they're negative. And now we're going to shift into vaccine mode. So we just want to say, hang in there, everybody. Keep hope alive, keep yourself centered, keep yourself grounded in the things that bring you joy that will soon be in our future, as long as we all continue to work together. And that means signing up when it's your turn. There's a blood drive that will be coming up with the city. And so we have to remember that it's these little things that we can do to look after our fellow man. And we're still in this together, and it's going to take all of us to move forward. So thank you.
Perfectly said. Thank you so much for sounding that theme as we encourage everyone to continue following safe practices until we really and truly cross the finish line. Which brings us to awards and presentations. We have 3 of our residents who have crossed the finish line in their service on city committees and commissions. And these are all 3 people who have been real participators and valued contributors to our civic work. So it's a tremendous honor to raise their profile this evening. One or another may be moving, at least one we hope will perhaps return to committee service when circumstances permit. Gloria, I see Phyllis Harkins is among the attendees, so perhaps she could be elevated to participate. Phyllis, are you there?
I am, Mayor Kelly, I am.
Fantastic. We want to express our deep and abiding appreciation to you. First, for your 8 years of service on the Public Safety Commission from 2013 to 2021. And you have been presented with a beautifully etched clock, which we hope will be a treasure for a long time to come. And I want to, in addition to thanking you for this service, additionally thanking you for first at the Palm Desert Country Club and then at the Portola Country Club, taking the initiative to organize candidate forums for city council, which were very well attended and helped a much broader segment of our residents become informed and be good civic participants. We will deeply miss you, and we hope you will come back to visit.
Thank you, Mayor Kelly and council members. Thank you for the honor. It was a privilege to work with each of you, although Karina, I wasn't able to work with you, and sorry about that, but thanks to the rest of you. And I'm actually, believe it or not, I moved to Texas, but I'm actually back in the desert as we speak, doing some consulting work this week and next week for Portola. So your timing was perfect. Thank you for that. But mostly thank you for all that you do for the city of Palm Desert. As I said in my resignation letter, it's the best city in the Coachella Valley and the best city in the state of California. And it was a privilege to work with each of you over the years, not only with public safety, but also with Area 4. So thank you for your service to the city of Palm Desert. It was a great place to live, and I know I will miss it, especially in January and February, but that's okay. It is, I'm moving on, I've moved on, but it's all good. And I'm blessed to have been here.
Thank you so much, Phyllis.
Phyllis, this is Gracie. I'm glad you said you moved because we're going to need your new address so we can send you the engraved clock. So can you email me your new address, please?
I just did. I just received an email and I just responded to it with the
Great.
address. So yes, thank you for that.
Thank you.
We are also honoring Carol Shout for her service on the Public Safety Commission from 2018 to 2021, and James Schmidt for his service on the Architectural Review Commission from 2019 through 2021. I don't think I see them among the attendees. Gloria or Grace, have I missed anyone?
No, you have not. Jim did indicate that he was not going to be able to attend, but thanked the city council for the engraved clock. Thank you.
Terrific. And let me go back to one heading, which I skipped over. Do we have any reportable action from closed session?
Yes, we do. This evening in closed session, the city council voted unanimously on the item that's listed as A1 on the closed session agenda. They voted to extend the agreement with the Chandi Group to June 21st, 2021. Other than that, direction was given, but there are no reportable actions. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two very important proclamations this evening, and those are a part of the record and have been shared with those who requested them. Gloria and Grace, is there anyone in attendance this evening who's here for the presentation of these proclamations? I don't see.
I believe there was supposed to be someone from the Donate Life, but I don't believe so. Oh,
I don't see someone. Well, let me proceed. What I'd like to do with both of these is share three of the most powerful whereas clauses. The first proclamation is for Crime Victims' Rights Week. Among the, where we do have a raised hand among the attendees, Cheryl Matchin, is she here for Donate Life?
Yes, I am.
All right, if you could just wait patiently for one moment. I will start as I began with the Crime Victims' Rights Week and share three of the key whereas clauses. Whereas the rights of crime victims are best protected when all participants in the criminal justice process are appropriately educated about victims' rights. And we must help victims access the justice, assistance, and support they need to rebuild their lives. And whereas the accomplishments of the victims' rights movement achieved through compassion and collaboration and built on the courageous advocacy of individual victims and their families across the country, inspire in us hope. Our theme this evening for future progress and greater healing. And whereas National Crime Victims' Rights Week provides an opportunity to recommit to ensuring that accessible, appropriate, and trauma-informed services are offered to all victims of crime. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Kathleen Kelly, Mayor of the City of Palm Desert, along with the entire City Council, proclaim the week of April 18th through April 24th as Crime Victims' Rights Week. And it's always a privilege to additionally acknowledge Donate Life Month because it is so important that we raise our own consciousness and everyone's consciousness about the opportunity to donate life through the simple choice of indicating on our driver's license that we are open to contributing organs or tissue in the event of our demise, that they might be life-giving for someone else. And Cheryl, before I present this proclamation, is there anything you would like to share?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor Kelly. First of all, I would like to thank the City of Palm Desert for recognizing April as National Donate Life Month. I am the One Legacy Ambassador to the City of Palm Desert. And even through these challenging times, I haven't been able to come out to your city very often during this past year. I look forward to coming out there shortly as One Legacy is releasing us slowly back into the community as needed. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a living donor. Yesterday was National Living Donor Day, so we were kind of doing a little bit of celebrating in my family. To give you a background, I was first impacted by donation as my family has polycystic kidney disease. I watched my dad endure many years of dialysis before he passed away. In 2009, my brother's kidneys failed. And so I decided to go get tested to be his living donor. And very thankfully, I was approved. So he received his gift of life. Last year, my sister received her gift of life with her new kidney. So because of donation, my brother has been able to experience the birth of his 3 grandchildren. My sister last year was able to celebrate her son's wedding. So I would like to encourage everybody in the City of Palm Desert to go and get the pink dot on their driver's license. And you can either do that at your Palm Desert DMV, which I visit every quarter. And you can also do that at www.donatelifecalifornia.org. Every day, about 22 people die waiting for a transplant. That is how much organs are needed. So once again, I would like to thank you, Mayor Kelly. Thank you, City Council members. And I just so appreciate you and everybody who's waiting on that waiting list appreciates you declaring the month of April Donate Life Month. Thank you.
Thank you for your very compelling personal sharing. Whereas organ tissue, marrow, and blood donation are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion to those in need. And whereas more than 108,000 individuals nationwide and 21,000 in California are currently on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, and an average of 17 people die each day while waiting due to the shortage of donated organs. And whereas California residents can sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor when applying for or renewing our driver's licenses. Now, therefore, I, Kathleen Kelly, Mayor of the City of Palm Desert, along with the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of April 21 as DMV Donate to Life Month. And it is a great honor to do so. This brings us to the time for public comments on non-agenda items. If anyone is present who would like to make a comment on something which is not on the agenda, you have a maximum of 3 minutes to do that at this time. Because of the Brown Act, we, the City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority Board may not take action or respond to you, but we may briefly respond or refer a matter for further follow-up to staff. So while we regret we can't have a dialogue with you now, we are always available through the City Hall offices to engage with residents at a time that works for you. And I'll invite the clerk's office to share about how you can call attention to your presence and desire to make comment.
Thank you for participating in our remote virtual City Council meeting. We will do our best to facilitate a smooth meeting with public participation. The agenda provided options and instructions for providing public comment at these meetings. Before we begin, please silence your other communication devices such as your cell or desk phone. This will ensure that we are not hearing any feedback or causing interruption during the meeting. The mayor will invite public comment where appropriate on the agenda. For those on Zoom, if you would like to make a public comment on the Zoom screen, please click on the raise hand button, which is found by hitting the participants tab. If you are using Zoom on your smartphone, tap your screen, look for the more option, and then click on the raise hand button on the screen. For those calling in using the phone line, you can dial *9 on your keypad to signal that you would like to comment. When called upon by the city clerk, you will be allowed to speak. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes and state your first and last name. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will add the compliments of a Zoom update. The raised hand icon does appear at the bottom of the Zoom screen, so you can simply click on that. I'm not seeing any requests for public comment at this time. Gloria, are you aware of any requests for public comment?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. Which brings us to the consent calendar. Does anyone need to remove something from consent? Councilmember Jonathan.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 13, please.
Anything else? Since you have the floor, would you like to move the remainder?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Gloria, would you please take the vote on the consent minus item 13?
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nestandi,
Yes,
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0 with the exception of item 13.
And Councilmember Jonathan, did you have a question, comment, or did you desire a staff report?
I've read the staff report. I have a couple of questions for Mr. Gary, if he's available.
I'm betting he is.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gary. Thank you for your report. Just a couple of questions. This is a very important program. I was disappointed that Jewish Family Services doesn't have the bandwidth to continue helping us, but I understand that. My question to you, and I have two questions, is number one, I'm accustomed to working with CVRM in the environment of homelessness. And I'm wondering, and I know you've evaluated this, so I'm sure you have a good answer, but what makes us think that they're qualified to administer this rental assistance program? I don't think they have experience, or maybe I'm wrong.
Honorable Mayor and Councilmember Jonathan, CVRM does have, they do have experience, as more so as of recently with housing placement. They actually have a housing division staff now within their organization. I think it's fairly new over the last year, maybe year and a half, but they do have staff that is dedicated to housing.
To housing placement, but this is an administrative process for rental assistance. So I'm not sure that they have done that type of program before. And I don't want to second guess staff's conclusion here, but I'm a little concerned that I hope they're not going to be learning on our dime, so to speak. The second question is that it appears to me that success of this program rests largely on the vendor's ability to get the word out. We can't help with rental assistance if the landlords are not aware that this program is available to help both their tenants and themselves. Does CVRM have a plan to get the word out?
Councilmember Jonathan, both with the Jewish Family Services of the Desert as well as CVRM, getting the word out is primarily fallen on the cities, on the city to do. Where we've, initially we issued letters to every multifamily unit that was more than 2 units. We've worked with our Chamber of Commerce and just various other aspects to get the word out. We could work with CVRM on developing a plan to get the word out as well and look at different avenues.
Yeah, my concern is that there are property owners with 2 or less units, and they're the ones that in many ways need the help perhaps more than some others, because it's an important source of income to some of these individuals that may own a single rental property or duplex or whatever. So I will look forward to continued success of the program. Thank you, Mr. Gary, for answering my questions.
Thank you.
And with that, are you prepared to make a motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Move approval.
Second.
Gloria, please take the vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nestandi,
yes,
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0 on item number 13.
Item 16 is request for award of contract to Michael Baker International, Inc. for the citywide bikeway and pedestrian improvements in the amount of $250,000. Project number 565-21, contract number C41270. Mr. Bowman.
Good afternoon, City Council. We have before you a contract award recommendation to first study and preliminary engineer gaps in our bikeway and pedestrian infrastructure with a first focus on the central part of the city. And this effort we want to have position us for updates to the capital improvement program so that we can program projects in the future, apply for grant monies such as ATP or Highway Safety Improvement Program monies to make improvements to our bike and pedestrian infrastructure. Happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Councilmember Nastande.
I'm looking forward to improving our bike lanes. I think it'll be a big plus and improvement for our city. So thank you, Randy, for all your efforts. And question, I mean, we all now can see the CV link under construction. And is there any coordination discussion with CVAG to see how what we're doing on our bike lanes can perhaps help improve what's being built on the CV link?
Yes, ma'am, there is. And we're planning to present a project update on CV Link to the City Council at your April 22nd meeting. And that'll be in conjunction with another action that we'll be requesting of the City Council on April 22nd. So we are preparing to have a good discussion and update to the council at that time.
Thank you, Randy.
And Mr. Bowman, it might be helpful if you give the full council just a slight preview of coming attractions in connection with the work of the Active Transportation Subcommittee from the council and visions for Palm Desert Link, which will enable CV Link users to navigate around town.
You said it well, Mayor. Thank you. I'll just expand with a few sentences about that. The ATP subcommittee has been a good inputter to the CV Link Connectors project. That was a contract that the city entered into with KOA Corporation last year. And it consisted of a lot of data gathering and alternatives analysis, looking at ways to connect the CV Link facility that's nearing completion to other parts of the central city area, namely El Paseo, the educational institutions, the city's campus, San Pablo Avenue project, as well as the neighborhoods that are in between, say, Fred Waring and Highway 111. And that CV Link Connectors project has also included reaching out to the community to get input, to inform the consultants' activities, to put potential lines on a map, identify potential types of bikeway facilities that could be implemented. And we're expecting to wrap up this initial feasibility analysis phase and present that to the City Council in a future City Council meeting not too far from now to go over this with you, seek your guidance, buy-in, and direction.
So that was coming attractions. Any questions about the current attraction? Yes, Councilmember Jonathan.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I am super stoked to see us making progress, continued progress in developing more and more bikeways throughout the city. I have a question about this contract, though. I'm not understanding the deliverables. There seems to be a phase one where it's an engineering study, and I'm not sure what that means. And then based on that, it's kind of open-ended as to where we go next. So I'm just not getting my arms around what we're awarding $250,000 for, what we're going to get out of that. Can you clarify?
Sure thing, council member. So this first phase is assessing where the gaps are in the system. So where does sidewalk end? Where does it begin? Where is it present? Where is it not on many of the roadways throughout the city? We don't have a current assessment of the locations of the gaps in the sidewalk system. In addition, it'll be the same thing on the bikeway markings, bike lanes that we have in the ground. The consultant will inventory those, map those out so that we can see where the gaps are. We have a general plan that guides us on where the city wants to be in the future, but we need to know where we are right now. And so that's the first part of this effort, is assessing where the gaps are. The second part of the assessment or the study effort in this phase one is to look at what should we do to fill in those gaps in the pedestrian, sidewalk, and bikeway networks. And as the council is probably aware, some types of facilities come with trade-offs. If you want to build a sidewalk, you may need to move mailboxes, you may need to move landscaping, those things that are in people's front yards, or bikeway facilities. If you want to, say, stripe a roadway, and the roadway is more of a residential type of street, there are trade-offs. You may need to look at, well, if you stripe a bike lane facility, that might require a reduction in parking or a change in parking on the roadway. And so this is going to take a look from the engineer's perspective, gain public input during this assessment effort, and at the end of it, assign potential priorities, as well as estimated costs for construction and design, which would then lead us to phase two. So before phase two begins, the city will present this to city council, get some guidance, get buy-in, and then proceed into design of the improvements in phase two. And some of those improvements, I'm going to guess, are going to take a larger engineering effort, much like, say, CV Link required a lot of engineering. However, others will be easier to implement, such as restriping a roadway, tweaking the bike lane striping, like the construction contract council approved just at its last meeting. So those are potential low-hanging fruits early on types of projects that we expect will come out of this phase one, and then can be designed and implemented starting in phase two.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. The second question is one of timing, and I know I'm always in a hurry compared to the speed of government, but the term of the contract is 24 months, which scares me because in my opinion, this was needed yesterday. But then what scares me even more is you're suggesting 3 12-month extensions. What's that about?
The answer simply is we expect this consultant to complete their work within this calendar year, so that it'll inform our capital budgeting process starting fiscal year 22-23. We also expect that this consultant is going to stick with us for the design of phase two and subsequent design efforts as this program matures and further evolves. We want to keep that talent on board.
Okay, I heard this year, and my understanding is you're not selling us a 5-year project, so I'm gonna take it on faith there. Final comment, and this is maybe for the mayor and the city manager. I don't want the design to come to the council as a fait accompli. How do we as council members remain involved in the design process so that the end product is not a surprise and frankly is consistent with our vision for what we're hoping to see? I know there's a subcommittee. I don't know if you want to do a separate subcommittee for this, or which is the last thing any of us need. I'm not sure. I'm asking the question. I just hope we have an opportunity to be involved in the process and the design before it's kind of set in stone, so to speak. What's the best way to make that happen?
We can certainly bring forth project updates to you at times. I'll get with Randy and set some project milestones where we can ask you to weigh in along with the public and make sure that you feel like we're on the right track.
If you don't mind, Todd, I would very much appreciate that. All right. That's it for me. Thanks, Mayor.
Any other questions? Would someone like to make a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Gloria, please take the vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan.
Aye.
Councilmember Nastandi,
Yes,
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item 17 is resolution number HJ102, a resolution of the Palm Desert Housing Authority authorizing and approving the negotiation, modification, preparation, execution, and delivery of documents and agreements in connection with the re-syndication of PD Hopefully Limited Partnership and the refinancing and rehabilitation of the Hopley Gardens project and taking related actions. I see Ms. Gonzalez is with us.
Yes.
Please take the floor.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman, members of the Authority Board. Jessica Gonzalez, Senior Management Analyst with the Development Services Department. Approval of staff's recommendation will allow Palm Communities to resyndicate, restructure the refinancing of Hopley Gardens apartment. Should the Authority Board approve staff's recommendation, staff and legal counsel will proceed to negotiate and finalize the documents and agreements presented to the Authority Board at this meeting. I do want to make for the record that there has been a modification requested to the documents already presented and submitted to the Authority Board before you. The change is to the authority loan that will now bear an interest rate of 1.98% compounding annual interest versus the original term of 1% simple interest annually. Staff is available for any questions, as well as Eric Halter with Palm Communities with regards to this item.
And perhaps for the benefit of the public listening, I could just ask a first question to feature the significance of this item. Is it fair to say that the ultimate impact of the requested actions is to extend the years for which this property will have affordability covenants?
Yes, the authority would definitely benefit from the item before you by extending the 55-year affordability term, and that affordability term would commence at the time that this resyndication closes. We anticipated no later than April 26th of this month. And in addition to that, we are also having additional units being available to the extremely low, which is a TCAC requirement. And we have also that benefit with regards to this, and as well as a refreshed property because they will be rehabbing. This is the additional part of the resyndication that it will provide a rehabilitation to the units.
Which is happy news.
Yes.
Any questions for staff? Comments or motion? Welcome. Mayor Pro Tem Maharnik.
Thank you. So everything that was said, I absolutely agree with. And when Ms. Gonzalez was saying, it's just increasing the quality of life. This is a refresh. It's bringing things into ADA compliance. It's turned 18 of those units into for our lowest income earners, for the people who genuinely need it. So it's really helping those in our greatest need in our community. So this is taking something that we have that already serves needs and making it a greater asset to our community and to our community members. So thank you for all this work. And Jessica, thank you for always answering my questions.
You're welcome.
Other questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second?
I
Second. Oh, go ahead. Can Karina please second?
Gloria, please take the vote and everyone can be a part of the outcome.
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nastandi,
Yes.
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly,
Yes,
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
thank you. Item 18, request for approval of grant of easement to Coachella Valley Water District for utility purposes over a portion of assessor's parcel number 627221011 in conjunction with the construction of the President's Plaza East and West improvements project number 758-14, Coachella Valley Water District applicant. Welcome back, Mr. Bowman.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. You have before you a request to grant an easement. It's 150 square feet. It's on the west side of San Luis Rey Avenue, which will serve the western portion of President's Plaza. And we will respectfully request your approval.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Thank you. Gloria, please take the vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nestandi,
Yes,
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. Item 19, request for direction to staff on fireworks for Palm Desert's 2021 Independence Day celebration. Ms. Vanessa Major.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. My name is Vanessa Maker, and I am Management Analyst with your Economic Development Department. Before you is a staff report requesting direction on the Palm Desert 2021 fireworks display celebration. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have and look forward to receiving your direction.
May I quickly ask, and forgive me if I missed this, but what is the amount of the deposit that would be required imminently?
$20,000.
And did I read correctly that if circumstances foreclosed using the fireworks on the 4th, that the deposit could be applied to a future event?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Other questions of staff? Looks like everyone's eager to share their opinion, but stay right there because that could lead to questions. So who would like to start our discussion? Mayor, excuse me, Councilmember Nestandi.
I would just say that this report is a breath of fresh air and it offers hope to the future. And as we began, as Councilmember Quintanilla said in her invocation, that there's, hope are in the future, and it looks like things are starting to get back to normal. And I, for one, think this would be a vote towards optimism and give the whole community something to look forward to. And I personally am willing to take the risk on our deposit that worst case, it would have to be applied to a different time or the following year. But I think it will be a good uplifting experience for the community if we can at least move forward at this time.
Others? Yes, Councilmember Jonathan.
Let's do it. Tremendous upside, no real downside.
That's a motion. I'll second that.
You got it.
Well, I would hate to call it that there's no downside, Mayor. If I may interject, I can anticipate that we will be getting emails from distressed pet owners. And so we will acknowledge, or at least I want to acknowledge, that this is something fun for the whole city, but it's not without the understanding that this will impact and make some pets very sad. But we hope that maybe this year you'll look up at the sky and we'll acknowledge that there's a lot to celebrate this year.
Yes, and before we vote, I want to emphasize this. Putting down the deposit leaves us with many options and opportunities to adjust to further evolving facts. We'll have the option of providing a fireworks display without a gathering or event if it's not appropriate to have a gathering or event. In my experience, Palm Desert fireworks are enjoyed for several miles. I certainly enjoy them from my residence in years when I haven't been able to be at Civic Center. So we'll have that option. And of course, the fallback option of simply applying the deposit to a future event if that proves to be the best thing to do. So I will certainly vote for this with the understanding that we'll be careful in assessing evolving facts to see what best supports the public health. Any other comments before we take the vote? Gloria?
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nestandi,
Yes.
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Item 20, resolution number 2021-08, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Palm Desert, California, rescinding and replacing resolutions number 2019-48 and 2020-62, adopting authorized classifications, allocated positions, salary schedule, and salary ranges included herein and attached as Exhibit A, effective with pay periods ending after April 1st, 2021. And I see our esteemed Director of Finance, Janet Moore, is with us. Please share.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Management staff has met and conferred with the Palm Desert Employees Organization in accordance with the Myers-Milius-Brown Act. As a result, the city manager is recommending a cost of living adjustment of 2.3%, beginning with the first pay period in April. In addition, recent vacancies and reorganizations require an update to the allocation of the staff positions. So staff is requesting that the City Council adopt the noted resolutions, approving the updated allocation of staff positions and related salary tables. Staff is available for questions if you have any.
Are there any questions? If not, is there a motion?
So moved.
I second.
And let's take the vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Harnick,
Yes.
Councilman Jonathan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nestandi,
Yes.
Councilmember Quintanilla,
Aye.
Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
And let me sincerely thank all of those who participated collaboratively to bring this issue before us. We're pleased that it's possible to take this step. I see no information items, no public hearing. So it is time for council member reports and requests for action. And in my informal rotation system, I see it's council member Jonathan's turn to go first.
Yay. Thank you, Mayor. Two quick items. Number one, I have to apologize. Earlier we heard that it's Victims' Rights Week. Today also happens to be Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaShoah. And I failed to bring that to the attention of staff and the mayor, but it's appropriate that at least we note that perhaps the most egregious example of humanity's inhumanity towards people exists with the Holocaust and the atrocities heaped by the Nazi on 12 million people. So it's appropriate that we at least recognize today in that moment, I think, particularly in light of the fact that it coincides with Victim Rights Week. And I apologize again to staff and the mayor that I failed to bring that to your attention sooner. The other item is not so much a request for action, it's just to bring to staff's attention. We have a paving project ongoing in the city. It's wonderful to see. The one that is taking place in South Palm Desert, they group up in that empty lot. And as they leave the lot on Portola, creates a whole lot of dust, and I imagine PM10 matter, and really messes up the road. So I don't know how much longer they have to go there or what mitigations can take place. I'm not asking for anything specific, just wanted to bring it to staff's attention. Thank you, Mayor.
And thank you for both items. And on the second item, I do want to commend staff and any consultants involved for the very intricate sequencing of the slurry work, which seems to always enable everyone to get in and out of their neighborhood, sometimes with a little bit of further investigation to find the available route. But it's always possible, and it's clear that this requires a great deal of planning to accomplish. So thank you for that. Mayor Pro Tem Harnick.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple things. First, I want to say that we talked about CV Link and all the good things coming from that. And I did attend the ceremony for the link that is going to connect Indio and La Quinta. And this is a wonderful piece of CV Link. There's a bridge. It's just an outstanding effort that's been made. And it's, as we all know, this has been going on for years, and it's great to see. It was well attended, well supported. And I know it's going to be a great asset for people getting to education, employment, recreation, and just going about their day-to-day lives. So that was a wonderful day, and it was very meaningful to a lot of people. The other thing I want to mention is we should all get ready for and expect some requirements regarding drought, because it looks like we're in for another drought. And so we can take those precautions now, but will undoubtedly, as we have been before, be asked to take some measures to help with that effort for everybody. That's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Nastande.
I don't have any comments at this time, but thank you, Mayor.
You're most welcome. And Councilmember Quintanilla.
I don't have anything to report myself. I did have a scheduling conflict that had an impediment to meeting with the Art and Public Places Commission. So it is my hope that Martin can fill us in and let us know what's going on. I know there's a couple of beautiful projects on the horizon.
Terrific. And I have nothing to feature this evening beyond what has been on our agenda. Mr. Heilman, do you have anything to share under city manager comments?
Not at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Then I believe we may be adjourned, and thank you to staff for a efficient and productive meeting.
Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Stay healthy, everyone. Get vaccinated.
Meeting adjourned 4:56.